Hello, 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 dreamers. Perla here. As always, thank you for your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and do so. We would love to have you. So this is on the CUSP Weekly Readings, and this is for all of our lovely CUSP signs. This video will be timestamped. Um, so let's go ahead and let's see. Alrighty. Aries, Taurus, cusp. There's this energy this week where you guys need to be, and again, I need you to hear what I'm saying. I need you to listen to what it is that I'm saying. I'm not telling you to change your opinion or your perception on something, but I am asking, or you're being asked to listen and at least entertain a different perception or opinion. Whether this is at work, whether this is in a relationship, it's irrelevant. There is something here about like somebody trying to find a common ground with you within a certain space. But if you are unwilling to even listen to what it is, what the other side or the other opinion is, the compromise or common ground is never going to be found. So there is a shift here in perception where maybe some of you are under the impression that if you hear other people's opinion or if you hear other people's side, you are somehow like lying to yourself or dishonoring yourself or something of that matter. And that perception or that way of thinking is very narrow and it's very limited. And it is something that, to be honest with you, you should have outgrown a long time ago. So like we see this a lot when you see people talking about like religion or politics, everybody wants to say their piece, but nobody's willing to listen to like the other side. And I'm not saying that it is in regards to politics or religion. I'm just using that as an example, right? And it's almost kind of like there is something that, again, just listening to the other person's point of view or the other person's opinion is not necessarily going to change yours, but it is going to give you a deeper understanding of where it is that that person is coming from in order for you and this person to find common ground. Again, this common ground can be within a romantic relationship or within a platonic one, whether it's at work, like a co-worker or a friend, or etc. But there is this you needing to be a little bit open-minded or being a little bit more flexible with allowing somebody else to speak their side of something. And again, I always say, like, if like, don't force anything that I'm saying. You know whether this is you or maybe this is somebody that you're dealing with. Maybe you're dealing with somebody that is not willing to see or listen to your side of the story on something, or somebody that's not willing to listen to your point of view or your perception, right? You can definitely flip that around. Even though I'm going to be honest with you, this feels that it's mainly coming from you. And I'm not gonna lie, there is this space where for a lot of you this closed-minded energy, or this space of not always being willing to listen to someone else's opinion or perception or viewpoint, is because in the past, when somebody would come at you or when you were in relationships or whatever, these individuals were actually forcefully or trying to force their beliefs or their opinion on you. So you develop some type of like defense mechanism that, even if you are unaware, has led you to this place where you don't allow yourself to even open up enough to even listen to someone else's point of view. And that is what is being addressed this week. Again, this is not about shaming. This is not about judging. I'm just letting you know the energies that are surfacing and that are available for you to transmute during this time. So we have the spring as your closing message. See your seed grow. So this is a beautiful opportunity for whatever work you've been doing within yourself, or whatever work you've been doing around this space, to see how much you have actually grown, and to see how you can actually take that space or that energy and transmute it into something that is really beneficial for you. Taurus, Gemini, cusp, there's something that you're wanting to clean up or you're wanting to remove. I almost kind of keep on hearing like, I feel dirty, I feel yucky. Whether it was that you slipped back into like you know, messing around with an ex, or into like some type of old addiction or something like that. There's something that feels yucky, or even the thought of slipping back into something. So I'm going to use something again very simple as an example. Cigarettes, right? I smoked cigarettes for many years, etc. I quit, and the other day I was talking to somebody and they were like, oh, come outside with me, I'm going to smoke. And now they're aware that I quit or whatever, and just being even in proximity to the smell of cigarettes, something that never used to bother me, I'm being completely honest with you, like just the smell of like the cigarette even before it was lit made my body feel kind of like ugh, like ugh. And it wasn't necessarily anything bad or anything that was coming from the person or anything like that. It was I kept on, as I was experiencing that, I kept on hearing all the lies that I told myself in order to stay addicted to it. You know what I'm saying? And it was like for a split second there, I remember asking myself like, "Oh, I should just have a puff because I haven't had one," even though the smell was bothering me. So it's almost kind of like that energy where maybe for like a split second you're thinking of like reconciling with an ex, or you're thinking of reaching out to an ex or to an ex friend or whatever it is, and like the feeling of itself makes you feel icky. It makes you feel like, "Oh, I need a shower, I need a bath." That is kind of like the energy that I'm picking up. So there's something that is resurfacing or something that is coming in and is making you very uncomfortable. What I will say is like go into the space and see why is it making you uncomfortable. For some of you, there's somebody that is like showing back into your life, or is presenting themselves as a space as like they have grown or they've learned the lesson, or anything like that. And spirit is telling you is all surface level things. Like their change is surface level. They haven't done the deep work that is actually required of them. Buster, you need to stop, buddy. I'm sorry, my dog is like crying for some reason. So and it's this thing where like your spirit knows that they've only done the surface level work, and that's probably why you're feeling this ickiness or this yuckiness energy whenever you think about like either reconnecting with them or re-engaging with them. This is something that has definitely ended. This is something that you're not meant to be like, you're not meant to be waiting on this person or waiting to reconnect with this person or waiting to be back with this person, is what I'm picking up. Like it is okay to reminisce on what you and this person had, but let it die there. Reminiscing on the good times with a person, even if you're reminiscing with them, right, doesn't mean that you're gonna get back with them, right? And you know, I speak to my ex-husband all the time when he comes over to see the kids, and sometimes like we'll be talking about stuff and we'll be like, oh, you remember this, you remember that, and we'll laugh and we're everything. That is not a sign for neither of us that we should be together. And that's kind of like the way that you have to like stop mixing the signals. And if you still feel like drawn to this person or that you want to be with this person, then you're needing to allow yourself to really be honest with yourself. The medicine garden is your closing message. We have be open to healing information. Again, whatever is transpiring, whatever it is that is bringing this sensation or this feeling for you this week, it's about helping you heal over something, or helping you heal over someone, and allowing you to realize that just because you're reminiscing, just because you're thinking that this person has changed or whatever, the reality of it is that you're not to be going back towards this person or back with this person. Gemini, Cancer, Cusp, you are crossing all your T's. I see a TikTok what is it? TikTok games, right? TikTok. Is that what it's called? Not the app. Yeah, that's what it's called, a TikTok game. Like, you know, the X and Zero game, whatever. It's something of the matter. There's something that you're putting into play, or something that you're putting into order. Let's put it this way. There is this energy about bringing something to order, bringing some type of order into a space, into something structural. This is surrounding a space of like two. It is surrounding a space of a connection. So whether this is between you and like your significant other, or you and like work. And I do apologize if you hear my dog. I'm trying to text my eldest to bring him a treat because my 3 youngest are out with my ex-husband and he's crying because he didn't go. They were going to a store, so he wasn't going to go. He's a huge dog. So he's here like crying to me like I wanted to go. So anyways, there is a sense of bringing some type of order to some type of order or structure to some type of relationship. So if you were talking to somebody, or you were messing around with somebody, that is bringing some type of like structure, like you guys are either committing to each other or solidifying a relationship. If this is at work, maybe you were temporary, maybe you were part-time at a job and now you're moving into a full-time permanent position. Again, maybe you went to the gym and you were trying it out for a couple of weeks and now you're signing up for the gym. It's like, is this space of actually committing to something is more the word that I should use, like, right? Like, so there is some type of commitment being finalized this week in some part of your life. Um, why is there hesitation here though? Because some of you are questioning whether this is the right move or not. Especially for those of you that this is in regards to like a connection, like a romantic connection, you're questioning whether you should solidify. I don't know why I keep on saying that word solidify, but that is the word that wants to keep on coming up. Um, and now I want to look at the word solidify, the actual like textbook definition, because to make or become hard, compact, solid, transitioning from liquid or gaseous state to a firm one. So again, I keep on hearing like solidify, solidify. So like there is definitely about wanting to make something solid or wanting to make something like, I keep on hearing like structure, and I'm sorry guys that this is the way that's coming up, but there is a hesitation here of like, what about if something doesn't work out, or what about if this turns out to be exactly the same as like all the other past relationships or all the other past experiences that you've had. Now, if this is in regards to like an ex, I definitely see where the hesitation is there. They're an ex for a reason. They probably should have stayed an ex. If this is somebody new, please do not bring in past energy or past relationships energy into when it comes to identifying what it is that you have now with the current person. I hope that makes sense. Let's go ahead and let's pull out an oracle card. Air Guardian, shift your perception. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. Yeah, please, with that hesitation about like questioning whether, like, if you're already thinking that something is destined to end bad, you're already inviting that energy in. You're already calling this energy in, and that is most likely what is going to end up happening. So if you don't want that to happen, shift your perception of how it is that you talk reality in, like how you speak reality into your life and how you speak over your relationship, if that makes sense. Cancer, Leo, cusp. I know the camera is shaking a little. He just moved one of my dogs just moved the stand, the camera, the phone, the thing holder, whatever it is. So just, it'll stop in a minute. And it's actually kind of like, it goes quote unquote with like what it is that I'm picking up for you guys. Like I see a lot of like jumping energy, or a lot of like, I can't sit still. I can't sit still type of energy. So make sure that this week you're doing everything in your power and in your capacity to stay as grounded as possible. I feel that there is going to be a little bit more challenges than what you are wanting this week coming through, and it is coming in through more through a work environment where there may be a little bit more disagreement, there may be a little bit more confrontational type of energy. So just make sure that you're going into work feeling grounded, or doing like a grounding ritual or something of that matter. Also be careful when it comes to driving. It's not necessarily that I see an accident, but I do see a lot of frustration when it comes to like when it comes to driving, and or just frustration in general when it comes to being around people. So maybe this will be a good week to order in your groceries, to order food in, to really minimize the amount of time that you're spending outside. And again, it is not, and I know that I'm usually always saying like, oh, you should go out and face it because that's the only way that you're gonna know if you're healed from this or this. This just seems like a lot of overwhelming BS from a lot of other people. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. This seems like one of those weeks where spirit is asking you to take a break, or spirit is asking you to rest, and you are ignoring it. And when you ignore your own rest, or you ignore the guidance from spirit, then there are situations or things that force you into that space. So like a confrontation at work, or an argument at work can very much get you supervised that when then you're going to be at home. You know what I'm saying? If you get into a car accident, you're going to be home. Like, so it's almost kind of like this, like listening to the cues or to the guidance that spirit is telling you, like, hey, slow down, ground yourself. And it may just be taking an extra 10-15 minutes a day to like ground yourself before going to work, to be able to manage the challenges that are coming in, because there's something here about recalibrating yourself or learning that balance within yourself so that you're able to face anything that comes your way without it causing any chaos, any chaotic energy. So emotions are definitely going to be very high this week. I feel that you're going to be more feeling like you're a little bit more on edge. So again, I want to remind you that whatever it is that is occurring outside of you is happening for you, not at you. And it is helping you evolve, or is helping you grow. This could be tied to some type of chaotic energy, or some type of unbalanced energy that you may have been carrying around within you for like the past 2 weeks or something like that, and now unfortunately it is manifesting in the physical. All right, so let's go ahead and let's pull out an oracle card for your closing message. The Hermit, retreat and recharge. There's something here about, again, grounding. There's something here about spirit asking you to be in isolation. Now, I get it, some people cannot go a lot of work, so go to work, do what you got to do, and then come home. Like, there's something here about like not being in the middle, no estando en el medio. No estando en el medio. Pero cuando uno está en el medio, se le pega todo. Meaning, every time you're like in the middle, you're like out there, that's when shit happens. And it's like, this week has to be very heavily focused on grounding for you guys. Leo, Virgo, cusp, shooting star, whether it is that you're wishing upon a shooting star, or something about a shooting star is coming up for you guys. Maybe wish upon a shooting star, maybe go into that energy, that childlike energy, you know, when you were younger and you would look up and it's like, oh, wish upon a shooting star. There's something here about like the innocence of childhood, that carefree energy that lives within children, that spirit is asking you to embrace, to go into a space where you are embracing that part of you, that creative part of you that isn't shut down by criticism. Does that make sense? Because some of you, again, you've been censoring yourself a lot when it comes to certain things that you want to do, or when it comes to certain things that you want to bring into creation, or certain things that you want to share. And it's like you hold yourself back a lot, and spirit is like, hey, that childlike energy, that part of yourself wants to be seen, wants to be and I'm sorry that the camera is moving. Mizina just came and moved the stand. These dogs have been with this video, like they want to be center stage. And it's like sometimes that's what you have to be. You just have to allow yourself to take up space, allow yourself to, because now it's bothering me though, how much is moving. You have to allow yourself to be, you have to allow yourself to take up space, take up room. And for some of you, you know, maybe growing up, that was something that was heavily discouraged. Something that maybe you were told that you were taking up too much space, that you needed to be quiet, that you needed to be smaller, that you needed to be seen and not heard. And now you're in a space, or you're in a space in your life, or in a time in your life where you don't have to hide anymore, where you can allow this part of you. You can allow this part of you to be free, this part of you to show up, this part of you to be embraced, and this part of you that is not so much afraid about being judged, right? Realizing that a lot of the times, 99% of the times, when people are saying something towards you or to you, they are projecting onto you. Whether it is something positive or negative, however it is that you want to view that, it is still a projection. And when you realize that, and you don't allow yourself to internalize that, then you allow that childlike free aspect of yourself, part of yourself, to come out and play, come out and enjoy life. And that is what you're being invited to do during this time. All right, so let's go ahead and let's pull out an oracle card for your closing message. We have learned from spiritual experiences, the great teacher. The great teacher. I want you to look at it this way. In the past, when you've allowed yourself to be carefree, when you've allowed yourself to self-express, when you've allowed yourself to exist, when you've allowed yourself to take up room and space without restrictions, without limitations, what has transpired in your life? What big moments or big changes happen during those times? And then you'll start to realize that that is all that you have to do. All you have to do is allow yourself to show up as yourself. Excuse me. In order to create that life that you've always wanted. Because right now, the only thing that is holding you back is the judgy self part of yourself. That echo judgy that came either from parents or family members or etc. That is what is stopping you from showing up as exactly as who you want to show up as. Virgo, Libra, cusp, down the middle of my back, I feel like sharp pains coming through. And then they're followed by like a squeeze and then an instant release. I'm picking up this energy of like either somebody's trying to put pressure on you or somebody wants to put some type of pressure on you in regards to like an answer. Somebody wants an answer and they want an answer now. They don't want to have to wait is what I keep on picking up. Now, whether this is at work or in your romantic life, it is irrelevant, but somebody's pushing you for somebody's pushing you for some type of answer in something. And you're feeling very much you're feeling the pressure very much on it, and you're needing to stand up, or you're needing to like be like, hey, I already told you I was going to give you an answer on Tuesday, and then that's it. And sometimes you have to not necessarily repeat yourself, but it is kind of like a repetition, because you are saying the same thing but you're rewording it like in 3 different ways to kind of get your point across. And if by the 3rd time they don't get it, then that's it, communication ends. I don't know if that makes sense. So there is a way here that, you know, and sometimes, to be honest with you, you have to always remember that people can only understand or comprehend based on where it is that they are in life, right? So just because something comes easy to you and just because you're able to comprehend certain things a lot easier doesn't necessarily mean that whomever it is that you're speaking to is able to do the same. So this is what I'm saying. Like, you can try to word something in 3 different ways, but if they don't get it, then the message is not for them. If they don't get it, then what it is that you're trying to communicate is not for them to understand at this moment in time. Or it is not something that you and them are supposed to be communicating about in this moment in time. I hope that makes sense. Because sometimes I feel like you spend a lot of time trying to like over explain something, or trying to like, yeah, you're either like over explaining yourself, or you're trying to make somebody understand something. And it's like, hey babe, if they don't get it in the 3 examples or the 3 ways that you try to teach them something or say something to them, then they're not going to get it, and that's perfectly fine. You just need to move on from this, and you need to like let this go. Because again, you may be wanting to change. You may not necessarily change someone or change someone's opinion, but you're trying to open someone's mind or someone's something, and it's not working. And it's honestly just because of the simple fact that they're not ready. You need to also realize that you're not meant to save everyone, and like sometimes letting it go and moving on is what is needed. And if you don't believe me, here we have the Traveler. Move in a new direction. Move in a new direction. Move in a new direction. This person is maybe not ready for what it is that you're trying to communicate. Maybe they are, you know, and when I say ready, I always say that when we are ready physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally is when we move forward towards something, or when we finally understand something or comprehend something. If a part of us is not ready, you can say something to me like till you're blue in the face, and I'm gonna look at you like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I'm being completely honest. So I always, whenever I'm going into like either reading a book or learning something, I'll pick it up and I'll be like, okay, when I'm ready, I'm gonna read this book. And that's exactly how it is. And I'll have books that will sit in my shelf for like a week, and I'll have books that will sit in my shelf for like 6 months, and it's like, whoa, like a part of me was just not ready for some of the information that was in there, and that's perfectly fine. And it's about you realizing that when it comes to other people and the people that you're either trying to teach or the people that you're trying to help. Libra, Scorpio, cusp, stop. You keep on checking. You keep on checking an update. You keep on checking your phone. You keep on checking your email. You keep on checking your phone. You keep on checking your email. That's all I keep on saying is like you keep checking for something. You keep checking for some type of update on something. Stop. You're going to drive yourself crazy. The minute that you walk away from the phone, or the minute that you walk away from this, or the minute that you give yourself a moment to breathe, the text message is going to come through. The phone call is going to come through. The email is going to come through. For a lot of you, you may be in on a break. I'm going to call it a pause. You're on a pause within a relationship. And maybe the 2 of you decided that you guys were going to take a week to really think about what it is that each of you want out of this relationship, and if this is a relationship that both of you want to continue on moving forward with. And you have already made up your mind whether that is to stay or to go. You've already made up your mind, but you're waiting on the other person to make up theirs. And one of the hardest things that you can do is actively put yourself in that space of like eagerly waiting for something. Because what tends to happen energetically is that then that person takes a little longer, that thing or whatever takes a little longer to get to you. But when you accept the fact that no matter what the answer is going to be, no matter what this person decides, your decision is not going to be like, it's not going to be moved or it's not going to be changed, then, and then you release it, you allow it to go. Now you're gonna be like, oh well, Pearl, I can't force somebody to be with me. Oh, exactly, you cannot, right? But if you decide that you want to be with this person, right, and they decide that they don't want to be with you, that is not changing the fact that you still want to be with them. It is changing the fact that you're not going to be with them, right? Because you can't force them. But your internal decision is not changing. You know what I'm saying? As if you decide you do not want to be with this person, and they decide that they do, just because they do is not going to change the fact that your internal decision was no, and it is going to be a no. So it is about needing to be very grounded in the decisions that you make, and then releasing the outcome, or how it is that the outcome is going to come, or when the outcome is coming, and instead allowing it, or giving it that space for it to arrive when it is needed to arrive. I'm going to take the 3 cards because I've only been taking 2 cards, but and I'm going to be honest with you here, the 2 of you are going to be on opposite ends of this. If you don't want to, they want to, and when you don't want to, they want to. When you want to, they don't want to. So to be honest with you, this is a situation where it's probably best to walk away from instead of forcing it. So do not take somebody back, or do not go back into a relationship with somebody because you're feeling guilty. And do not try to guilt somebody into staying in a relationship with you, because it is not going to fix the issues that you think it's going to fix, my love. All right. Let's go ahead and let's pull out an oracle card. There you go. We have something flipped over for you guys. We have the Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. I was talking to my mother in regards to this earlier today about how sometimes the way that we speak, when we're speaking unconsciously and we're saying certain things, we don't realize that that is what we are creating for not just ourselves, but for the generations that are coming after us, because that is what we're teaching, that is what we're repeating. And for some of you, there is a sense here where guilt plays a very big part when it comes to relationships. And if that is the case, whether it is that you allow yourself to be guilt, or you've guilt somebody into a relationship with you, you need to release those old patterns. And those are what we call generational curses. Those are things that are supposed to be broken, my love. Alrighty? Alrighty. Scorpio, Sagittarius, cusp, leaning to the side is what I keep on hearing. You either need somebody like to support you, somebody to hold you down, or you're feeling very alone. That's the number one. That's the first thing that I'm going to say. You're feeling alone, and you're feeling like you're feeling alone, and you're feeling like you need somebody to lean on. You need somebody to just have your back. You've been feeling for a really long time. Some of you have been feeling the space of like going at it alone all the time. Feeling like, how do I get the support is what I keep on picking up. And what I dislike in this energy is the fact that all the people that you are physically there for, that you are emotionally there for, that you are financially there for, are not there for you when you need it. Or it's almost kind of like some of you, there is a disappointment here that it's like, damn, like when they need me, I answer the call, I'm there, etc. But when I reach out, whether it's like through text or whatever, like nobody is there, and it is feeling very lonely. And again, I keep on seeing like either somebody like leaning against a wall, leaning against something to just kind of feel like some type of like actual structural support. And sometimes, and I know that it is a difficult space to be in, and all I can say is that the sooner that you stay true to yourself, and you begin to respect your own boundaries, and you begin to live your authentic self, and you learn to say no, the sooner that you're going to find your tribe. And I know that it's not what you want to hear, but it is the truth. If you continue to spend your time always being available for people that do not reciprocate energy in any type of way, because again, like, if I have a client that wants to talk about this, whether it's a reading or they just want to talk or blah, whatever, right? There is an energetic change. They pay, we talk, I read, etc., right? That is a different type of thing than what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like relationships and connections that you're constantly giving to, but you're not getting anything back in return. And when you're done with these connections or these interactions, you're left depleted. And the longer that you stay within those spaces, the longer, the more delay that you're going to be in finding your tribe, right? So I've been blessed with, I have a very beautiful friend group that they're all scattered within like a 2-hour drive, and then I have a very close friend that is like within like a 15-minute drive, and these are all individuals that I, at any given time, any time of the day, can give them a text or a call, and I'm like, hey, and I don't even have to explain. I'm like, I just need to vent, or I'm going through this, like whether it is something that is like in my mind or something that is a challenge that's physically happening. And there'll be at least 2 or 3 of them. Right at that moment in time, I'll be like, call me. And the other ones, depending if they're at work or whatever, would text me later and be like, hey, I'm out of work, what's going on? But the support is always there. And it's like, when I was super focused or hyper focused on wanting to be there and be available for everybody else that was not in alignment with me, and I was forcing certain connections, and I was going through shit, whether it was by myself or it was like physically, I didn't have that support. So needing to really be honest with yourself where it is in your life right now that you're giving too much of yourself and it's not being reciprocated. So we have the water guardian, connect to your emotions, my love. Connecting to your emotions is going to lead you into these spaces of self-reflection and really realizing where it is that you're giving so much of yourself that you are ending up depleted. Sagittarius, Capricorns. You guys are having a pretty good week. I see a lot of forward movement. I do see a lot of planning for the summer. There are like 2 or 3 different vacations that you're planning. I don't know where you're getting that money from. Send some of that energy, that vacation energy over here. Because I mean, I have a couple of places I want to go this summer, but I haven't dialed anything down just yet. But if you guys have any ideas, like places that you guys are traveling, definitely share them. But there is definitely a sense here of like planning, like whether it is that you guys are paying for them or you guys are looking where it is that you're going to stay or stuff like that. Like your mind right now is very much on your summer vacation, your holiday vacation, whatever you want to call them. And everything at work seems to be very steady is what I want to say. There is a little bit here of like past energy or past interference with somebody from the past. Now, when I say that, if you could be, and this is the way that it's coming up, guys, and again, if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, just let it be. Some of you are in a relationship with someone, and that person's ex, or maybe your ex, one of your exes is starting drama or starting shit, or is wanting to start drama or shit with the 2 of you. So just be aware that that energy is there. So if you see a text or you see a phone call, then you're able to know how to address it, if that makes sense. You don't necessarily have to engage. There may be children, or there may be something that ties either your ex to this person or whatever it is. And again, needing to like learn to navigate that space from a from a mature space is what I want to say. Because there's something here where whoever this person is from the past, whether it's yours or your significant other, they like drama. They like drama, they like fighting. And every time you guys interact with them, it feels like you guys have lost an entire war or an entire battle. Now, if there are children involved, I keep on hearing very clearly, a custody hearing or a custody order is needed in place. So if you're dating somebody that does not have a custody order in place with their kids and things like that, maybe encourage them to do it. Because again, somebody here is using some type of, they're using the kids or something like that as some type of leverage. Kids are coming in the house, and we have the elder move beyond ancestral patterns. So this is an opportunity to deal with this energy or deal with this behavior in a different way, not repeating the same patterns over and over again that maybe you guys have had with this past person energy. And Capricorn, Aquarius, cusp. This is the week of opportunity for you guys. You guys have a lot of opportunities and a lot of things wanting to come your way. Now, why do I say it that way? A lot of you are a little hesitant, or a lot of you are questioning these opportunities. You're questioning whether the time is right or whether you should take them. I need you to, when these opportunities come through, not questioning them so much or not sharing them so much with other people, because a lot of the doubt that comes in for you guys when these opportunities come through are more echoes of the people that you're sharing it with. And one of my favorite saying is always to say, you cannot expect somebody without dreams to support yours. You have people that are very content with how life is. They don't dream of more. They don't envision more. They don't care for more. So when, let's say, someone like yourself that is aspiring for more, is wanting more, is dreaming bigger and this and this and that, when you share or you try to connect or talk to these people about your dreams and your things, they can't comprehend because it is not something that was put within themselves. So you need to be very aware of who it is that you're sharing, like, hey, this awesome opportunity came in, because you may have people around you that are going to try to discourage you from taking said opportunity. So please be very mindful of that. Again, I'm not here, it's not about, I'm not picking up like any jealousy or anything like that. It is just more a lack of awareness from this person, if that makes sense. So if you have an opportunity about collaborating with a big brand or something like that, don't go and talk to somebody that has no idea what that is. Instead, try to connect with somebody that has already done that. If you have so it's kind of like, you know, I don't even know how to explain it in a way that doesn't sound as mean, I guess. But maybe instead of sharing this with someone, maybe sit and meditate, or maybe talk directly to spirit and get the discernment from that. Because I feel that whoever it is that you're connecting to, or whoever it is that you're talking to, like in your physical life, they do not understand like how amazing these opportunities are and how much success all of this is going to bring, and how life-changing a situation is, because they have not experienced it, or they have never strived for that themselves. Does that make sense? So we have the Sun, enjoy success and happiness. Because again, there is a lot of success coming in here, and it is coming in through the space or the areas of opportunity. And you need to be ready to take these opportunities and run with them. Aquarius, Pisces, cusp. In the loop, staying in the loop, or taking a loop. I don't know what a loop is. I know what a loop is, but I don't know what taking a loop is. So for some of you, is like, I keep on seeing somebody like trying to get access to something. For this may come in a form of like networking or something of that matter. Somebody is in the loop in regards to something. Somebody may be in the loop when it comes to like a business idea or something of that matter. And somebody is bringing you into the loop, or you're like, it's something like you're being shuttled into something. You're being brought into something. You're being initiated into something. This could be like a spiritual practice. This can be a family, like, when you get engaged or when you're having a baby. But it's like you're being shuttled into something. You're being brought into the loop into something. Is the way that it keeps on coming in. Like, here, this is for you, or like, here, this is your seat. Like, whatever this environment is, whether it's personal or work related, there is a seat for you at that table. There has been a seat that has been designated for you since the beginning of time, and now it's like the connections, or you're meeting the right people, you're making the right connection, or whatever it is, and now you're taking your seat within that space. It's honestly like, I'm trying to tap more into it, but that is like that's the only way it's coming in. You're being brought into the loop. It's like some type of initiation is happening, and you're being brought into the loop of something. and there is this space of like you're not needing to like fight it, or you're not needing to go after it. You're not, and I'm sorry guys that the camera is shaking so much. The dogs are running back and forth in the room right now because they're excited because their dad is here. Anyways, there is a sense of like something finally falling into place, or like it's almost kind of like these opportunities that come into your life that it's like at the right time, like the perfect timing, the perfect everything. And this is exactly the energy that is coming through. And you're just sitting there. Some of you are honestly sitting there in disbelief, like, whoa, is this really happening? And it's like, yeah, this is really happening. Like it's almost kind of like this space of like, oh, I made it type of energy. So we have the ego, see from a higher perspective. And I feel that the reason why you need to see from a higher perspective is because some of you may start to question this. Some of you may be like, hey, like, is this real? Like, why is this happening? Like, did I just sell my, like, I honestly keep on hearing like somebody like, did I just sell my soul? Like, what just happened? Like, because again, something is shifting, and it's shifting very drastically and very fast, but it's all good. Like whatever it is coming, it's a really good energy, and it's a really good thing. So I really do love it. Please share, because I love to hear you guys' stories. Pisces, Aries, cusp. There is a needing to revisit something or reevaluate something that some of you there may have been something that maybe you overlooked. There may have been an email that you overlooked, or an information that you overlooked. Something may have been overlooked that, to be honest with you, you're kind of like waiting on. I don't know why it sounds like that. Maybe you're waiting for a response from someone else, but you never really send them your response. And you're like, yo, why is this person taking like 6 days to respond to me? Like, I send them an email, like, and then you go to check when you send the email and you never freaking send it. You drafted it, but you never send it. Or maybe you thought you sent a text, or maybe you thought you ordered something. Like, there's something here that needs to be revisited and needs to be like reviewed, like, oh shoot, where you may have started a task, or you may have started something, but you never finished it through, or you never followed through with it. So now you're waiting for the results of whatever this is, but they're not coming in because you never did it. So this reminds me a lot of like my narcolepsy episodes, right? Where I think I send somebody a text, and then when I go see it, it's like, oh shit, I never text them. Oh, I never text them back, right? So it's kind of like that energy. So there's nothing wrong with either double checking your work or double checking that you actually did something, because there is a space here of like you almost going off on somebody. And again, if this is not you, reverse it. Maybe somebody thought that they sent you something, and now they're yelling at you, and they're like, oh, why haven't you responded? And you're like, dude, I haven't received shit. Like, I'm still waiting for that paperwork. Or I'm still waiting for that. And they're like, no, I sent it to you, I sent it. And then they're like, oh shit, I never sent it. So it is the reason why you're being asked to like revisit something or review something is like to avoid a potential like argument or fight that can come from this. Aside from that, I see everything else pretty much going pretty okay, or pretty normal in your life. I don't see a lot of conflict. Again, this is the only conflict that is really coming up, and it is really if you or whoever it is chooses not to review something before approaching some type of demand from someone else. And this is something that definitely, again, can be avoided. If you know that you email somebody and they haven't responded back, and you're waiting for something from them, then maybe shoot them an email like, hey, I sent you this like 3 days ago. I'm still waiting for your draft so I can finish this. And then this might remind them like, oh, shoot, I never sent this. Just to avoid some type of dilemma or argument in the future. So we have the Oracle, wait for important information. Wait for important information for you guys. There is, as all of this is unfolding, again, with these 2 cards of everything going very well in your life, the only thing that I see is that interaction that could possibly come in. And it is probably in a way to maybe distract some of you from some type of important information that is coming directly from spirit. And I feel that important information may have to do with moves when it comes to finances and career. And if you're distracted by something that spirit is already telling you to avoid from happening, then you're gonna miss, or you're not going to You're not going to pay attention or as much attention to the message from Spirit. Be open and receptive to information. Gather facts so that you can make decisions that is in line with your integrity. Alrighty, guys. Well, that is all that I have for you. As always, sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing. Guys, take care. Love you all. Mwah. Bye-bye.